why do you feel so beautiful in Italy?
Because they literally just call me beautiful all the time. They just like...
It's a problem for me.
They like, no offense here in America, like, to me, catcalling and calling someone beautiful are two very different things. So I feel like here I get catcalled, right? I get, oh, what's up, little mama? Oh, okay. Like that's not.
It's the nose.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily make me feel like, oh.
Over 50% of Black Americans are unmarried, and only 2% of Black families in America have a net worth over $1 million.
We are on our journey to not only join that 2%, but grow that 2%.
Facts. I'm Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, with my beautiful co-host.
I'm Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd. You can go to our website at them4show.com, our Instagram at them4show, and our YouTube channel at Melanated Married Millionaires in the Making.
And welcome to the M4 Show. Welcome, beautiful people. We are back in a slightly different space, right? Same house, different room. Loving the new setup. Oh, we were nerding out earlier. But thank you and welcome to the M4 Show. My name is Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, with my beautiful co-host, my queen, the lovely, the royal, the smiling, the dancing, the glowing, the melanated. Please introduce yourself.
What is up, everybody? My name is Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd. And I'm happy to have my voice back so I can
to full effect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, welcome back, Sinclair. Today's episode, y'all, is diving into self-confidence. And I feel like it's just real important to understand what and how you can develop your own self-confidence, that you can achieve the goals, the dreams, and aspirations that you want to achieve. So before we dive fully into it, Queen, give us the definition of confidence. And if you would like my cellular device, or you can ask Madam Webster.
That's exactly what I'll be doing.
Yeah, go ahead. Ask Madam Webster, Merriam, Oxford.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we're actually asking Oxford today. Okay. Confidence. The feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something. Mm-hmm. Also, firm trust.
Yeah, read the second definition for me.
The state of feeling certain about the truth of something.
The state of feeling certain about the truth of something. We're going to dive deeper into that a little bit later. Go ahead.
A feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities.
Say it one more time.
A feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities.
There it is.
That's
so
the one.
That is the one. And for the people who maybe you randomly discovered this podcast, maybe you're scrolling on YouTube and you're like, oh, I really want to learn about self-confidence. I want to get right to the meat of it for y'all, right? Because I know based on analytics, y'all aren't going to be here for 7 minutes. Based on the analytics, I know some of y'all are only going to listen or watch this video for 7 minutes, and we want to make sure you get what you came here for. Now, for the other people, the people who rock with us, the people who love our stories, the people who laugh at our bad jokes, and the people who really want to... Yeah. Also, I'm the only one with bad jokes.
Never told a bad joke in my life.
Cap. Big cap. But for those who really wanted the full experience of the podcast, don't worry, we have plenty of stories and funny bad and good jokes for you. But for the folks that just want to get the sauce, I got 5 steps for anyone to build confidence. These are very simple, very functional 5 steps. You can start them today, finish them next week, start having confidence by October. Let's get it. Step number 1, I'm gonna go rapid fire these, and if you want the full details, stay until the end. But step 1, write down 3 to 4 traits that you want your ideal self to have. And these should be 3 to 4 traits that you have somewhat right now, and you just want to build on those 3 to 4. All right, write those down. Step number 2, text, call, DM, Snapchat, whatever all you cool people do these days. 10 people in your life, 10 people that know you, Sinclair. All right. And ask them, hey, I'm doing a little experiment. What are 3 words you would use to describe me? All right. Get that list of 3 words from the different people. Then compare and contrast your list with the list that you got from other people. Which ones match? Find the 4, 5. You want to get real. Yeah. Find the 4 that match. These are the truths about yourself. Right? Because we said, what was that last definition you read of confidence? It says something about self-assurance.
A feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities.
Okay. Number 2, then. There was a second one that you read.
The state of being certain about the truth of something.
The state of being certain about the truth of something. I think I've struggled with confidence, Queen. And we'll get into that story a little bit later. But I've struggled with confidence because I didn't know the truth about myself. I had this person's perception, I had my perception, I had that perception, and sometimes those perceptions didn't match up. So I didn't know which perception was true. So if you have your list of things that you want to be true and ideal about yourself, you collect the list from other people. Now, what you think about you and what your wife thinks about you, what your friends think about you are the same. So you have your truths. All right. So that's step number 3. Step number 4 is I want you to write down these truths in the forms of affirmations. Right? So I am strong, I am funny, I am a genius, I am kind, I am handsome, I am brilliant, I was gonna say tall, but let's not lie to yourself, Devon. Let's not lie to yourself. Walk with the truth. Okay. You laughing at me, you laughing at this comment that just came in.
The truth, you. I'm laughing at I'm like, it's all about perspective, you know.
It is all about
ask some kids and you'll be tall. So it's all about whose perspective do you want to believe.
Very true. Very true. But write down those in the form of affirmations. Step number 5 is create a list of habits and actions that you can do that affirm those truths. Right. So if I said I am strong, then that means that every single day I should be doing some type of workout, going to the gym and building my body. If I said that I'm funny every day, as I do, I should be making somebody laugh. Right. If you're funny, you should be making people laugh. We.
Asterisk. We.
So this is a personal activity right now, Sinclair. In a second, we're gonna go through your list as well, and you can have your I statements. But we are not funny. I am a genius. I am a genius. So every day I should be. What's up with the sus eyes?
What do you mean? What's up with the sus eyes? You said we are not funny.
We are not. Do y'all think we're funny? Go ahead in the comments if you think we're funny. Put it inside there, because if we think we're funny and then someone else says, "Oh yeah, y'all two together are funny," then it could be a truth that we're funny.
I have a question when we're done with the list. You can finish.
Yes, ma'am. So I'm a genius, so every day I should be teaching or learning something or reading something, right? I am kind, so every day I should be giving someone a compliment, holding the door open, doing something that is nice. And then lastly, I am handsome, so every day I should be smiling at myself, taking care of my appearance, and doing things that, you know what I'm saying, handsome people do. All right. So that's the quick 5. All right. So for the folks that didn't want to be here for the entire episode, don't know why, because we're a dope show. You got your 5, write those down, take notes, and please take action. Now we can get into the fun part, to the story time. All right. So first, ask your question, and then I would love to see what's going on in these comments. I've seen a couple things on the list.
It's Jair. There's no comments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what happens if another person's list does not match your list? So, for example, I'm hilarious, but I don't know if I were to ask you to describe me that funny or hilarious would be on my list. Why? I don't know. You must be a bad judge of character. But see, you just laughed. I just want to say that. But so like, what happens when it's like, you know what? I'm just going to believe that I'm funny.
So were we getting some truth right now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, one, you're funny. But
Aw.
you are funny. Sinclair.
You heard it here first, people.
Jair, when you edit this episode, just cut that
Oh no,
part
it's live,
out.
baby.
It's live. Oh goodness. But yeah, obviously, you are funny. I think other people will say you're funny. So that is the truth about you. But if you think you're funny,
Mhm.
not you, if you think you're funny and you ask other people and no one else thinks you're funny, you're weird. And that's okay. But if you in your heart you really think you're hilarious and no one's ever laughing and no one thinks you're funny, you're a little weird. You're a little weird, and that's okay. We're weird too, right? Now, if everyone thinks you're funny, but you don't think you're funny, you also might be weird. You know? So again, it's like that truth thing. If I'm gonna leave it at that. That is what I think and believe.
Interesting.
You can rock with that a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to circle back a little bit, right? Because we went straight into the 5 habits or 5 things you can do to build self-confidence. But Queen, can you talk to me about confidence growing up, whether it was middle school, high school? What was your relationship with confidence, your self-image, who you are, who you thought you were as a person growing up?
I feel like confidence has always been a roller coaster for me, or it's not a constant thing. Like I can't say that I feel confident in an area at any point in my life. I have felt confident in every area in my life, but there have been things that I'm confident in. So, like, I think once I reached a certain point, school, I was pretty confident in terms of, like, at least in high school.
I can do this.
I can do it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure. I may not get like straight A's in every class, but I mean, one, I was taking AP classes. So it's like, I can get B's, I could get A's and B's in these classes. Like, I'm pretty confident I can do that without exerting too hard. But like, for example, talk about dance. Like growing up, there are certain things that I was very confident in. The ability to put on a performance, to put on a show, to entertain you, to make you feel something when I'm on the stage. Got it. There's no way I cannot do that. Now, to execute a routine flawlessly in terms of technique and make sure I hit all my turns and all my jumps are nice and high and my toes are pointed as hard as they can. That is, I never had like strong confidence on like my technique.
Why?
Because it was the weakest part of me as a dancer.
Says who?
Says me. Says the judges. Say my teachers.
There we go. Right? Because I think technique-wise, ballet-wise, you didn't know you were doing anything wrong until your teacher was like, "That's wrong." Right? But I think when you were teaching Denzel technique, or when you were teaching Joy technique, because they had no reference, they were like, "Oh my gosh, your technique's amazing. It's so flawless." But then you get in a room with other people who are judging you based on a certain criteria, and now all of a sudden you're not confident. Right? So just wanted to make sure we pay attention to that. Okay, keep it flowing, girl. You're dancing, you can put on a performance, but then when it's about technique.
Yeah. So I just feel like in general, there have been certain things that I'm confident in and others that I'm not. Even when you said like self-image, I think that also varied a lot throughout the years, but self-image, most of the time I probably was more struggling with self-image than I was confident. But again, I think that ebbed and flowed. Interestingly enough, I think to your point, depending on how I was being perceived by others.
So talk to me about the different perceptions that you were having. So let's go low point first, because obviously you're stunning now. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? You good. Let's go low point. What was the perception when you didn't feel like you were beautiful, pretty, or all those other amazing words?
Okay, so I'm going to give an example. And I feel like it's going to be like a rich people problems type of scenario here.
Beautiful people problems?
Beautiful people problems here. So I got a lot of junk in the trunk, y'all. Let's just call it like it is, right? But this is not something I grew confident in at all until probably college. I feel like, and this goes all the way back to elementary school. One of my crushes in elementary school.
What was his name?
His name was Ryan.
Man, Ryan, you messed up, bruh. Your little 5-year-old self didn't know what you had, bruh.
This is like 6th grade.
Fourth
grade.
4th grade.
6th grade is elementary school in
Gotcha.
Riverside. Maybe like 4th grade or something. Somewhere between 4th and 6th grade. But I won't say exactly what he said because we're trying to be family friendly.
We are being family friendly, but keep in mind, we made an intentional switch not to have this podcast in the Black Wall Street board game family group anymore. Gotcha. So this is just on the M4 Facebook and the M4 YouTube. So, I mean, still, be cognizant, but you could talk a little something.
I got you. Long story short, he was quote unquote making fun. Was he doing it in a way of like, I like you, or actually making fun? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. How it was perceived is that he was making fun of my big butt. And so I'm like, oh, this is a guy that I had a crush on and he's making fun of it. Like, this is not good. Like, this is not a good thing. I was not old enough to understand what that means. I feel like, so to me, and from my reference point, it was not cool to have a big butt back when I was in 6th grade. Then like in middle school, I had a scenario where like some guy that I was not trying to talk to or anything like that, like pinched my butt at some point.
What was his name?
Trayvon. Something like that.
Trayvon. Come on, brother.
But again, it was just like, I'm at one reference point, I'm a year younger than everybody. I started preschool early. So keep in mind, when I was 2, yes, I started preschool when I was 2. I was not 2 in middle school. God.
Still, even just starting any type of school at 2 just sounds ridiculous, to be honest with you.
Sorry, dude. But yeah, like got my butt pinched or whatever, which was like, I just felt, of course, like a violation. I'm just like, whoa, we're back up. And then there was a distinct time when I was at a water park. I think we were in Florida. I think this was the time we were visiting in Florida, but we were at a water park and I was in my swimsuit and we were waiting in line to go down the water slide. And I was with TC, my little brother. I was real small at this time. But there were some guys in the line that were looking at me, whatever. They were behind us. I'm really not paying attention. Again, I'm young. I'm not thinking about what I look like. I'm just out here having fun. I'm a kid. Yeah. So, yeah, they're kikiing behind me, whatever. I'm not paying attention, but TC is. And he's getting frustrated about like these guys talking about my sister. Again, he's young, he's small, he can't do nothing.
He's sitting there fuming.
But all he can do is take it out on me, right? And again, he's young. I don't take this out on him at all, or blame him for this at all. But he was like getting frustrated a little bit at me. It was just like, oh, these guys like, blah, 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 blah. I don't remember what he said, but I remembered feeling very uncomfortable at that point. Like, dang, me literally just being here is making my brother uncomfortable, is making these people behind me, whatever. So it's just like, it became a thing of like, this is not, and it's not a good thing, right? It's a thing that draws attention in a negative way, basically. Of course, fast forward to college and popping, even but yeah, it's like, it's the frame of reference of, and even now it's like one of the things I feel most confident about in myself, because you got people out here paying thousands of dollars for butts like this.
Yep, sitting on planes, leaning sideways.
Right. But yeah, that's like a perfect example of how it was perceived. But nothing has changed about me. I've literally been blessed with this since birth, but how people have perceived it has changed how I see it myself. That's a really long story and a really long way to say that, but that was what came to mind.
That is a very, in my eyes, universal experience. Because same thing, me growing up, elementary school, middle school, parts of high school, I was one of the darkest kids because it wasn't a lot of Black students in my elementary school or middle school. I had some beautiful butt gap teeth, some big old ears, still got big old ears. So it's like looking back at my little chocolate self, people were making fun of me all the time, right? So I think the things that I leaned on was being funny. Because okay, if I can make you laugh, then you're not laughing at me, you're laughing with me. Being smart, okay, if I can be smart, get good grades, now you can't make fun of me for being dark. And there's all types of Black jokes and African jokes and all that. But I'm like, I have better grades than you. I get done with my math quiz faster than you. So how are you making these African or black jokes? But then you fast forward, get to college or even senior high school, teeth looking better now. I'm on the football team. I'm working out now, and I'm still smart, and I'm still hilarious. Now we popping.
Yeah.
Right. But I think everyone, not everyone, because there's always those high school real cool kids who are just cool from the jump, from kindergarten, like Raja, right?
Man, that is a cool kid.
Just a straight cool kid from 4 years old, can dance, can play basketball, can rap, can sing, got nice hair, nice eyes. Just a cool kid from jump. Not everybody's that blessed.
Yeah.
Right. I think most of us go through that roller coaster. But I think the point that we're trying to make in this episode is, how do you find your 3 to 4, 5 solid things that you love, and then hopefully match that with maybe 3 to 4 things that other people also think about you positively, match those up, and now you have your truths, right? Because Kevin Hart, hilarious dude, very successful dude, but I'm sure he's also gone through his roller coasters of short jokes, dark jokes. But at this point, he can walk into any room. He's like, I'm Kevin Hart.
Right.
What do you? Okay, I'm short.
And
I'll stand on my bank account, I'll stand on my wallet, and I'll be taller than you. Now what? Right? So it's about finding your 3 to 4 confident truths and not worrying about all those other things that people might say.
Yeah.
So fast forward, Sinclair. You good? Wow. Oh, you need your water?
Yeah, you moved it?
I didn't move it. It's right here.
Oh, I was going to say I went through all
original
of that.
seat. Let me drink this first.
Okay. Do all of that work to get cold water, filtered water, and ice.
It is nice and cold.
Leave it.
You got some Himalayan salt in there?
Residue.
Okay. What's residue?
Meaning there was a little bit of water left. Okay. I was like, you need me to explain that?
Like, is that a brand? Let's get back focused, y'all. So first off, if you have a confident story, a story going through middle school, high school, go ahead and drop that inside of the comments, right? You don't have to get your whole life story in there, but if you're vibing with this message and you've gone through this roller coaster as well, drop it in the comments. You'll be surprised who's gone through this. Literally, we were at a Maxwell concert.
Yes.
And Maxwell, like thousands of people are there for him. He's up there, he's dancing, he's singing, and he goes up and he says, "Where were y'all in high school?" Right? It's amazing to think about this multi-millionaire, probably platinum album singer, but in high school, people were making fun of him and he might have been by himself.
Right.
Look at you now, Maxwell. Look at you now. All right. I want to do a Pretty Wings reference in there somewhere, but you get the idea. But back to us. We were at this Riverside event.
Oh my gosh.
We pull up, and there's a couple things that are helping my confidence in this scenario. We pull up and there's a random person walking with Black Wall Street, the board game, in their hand. I'm like, hey, that's our board game. Come on now. We come to this event just showing love, and they already got board games here. Next thing, I walk up to the sign-in table. You know what I'm saying? I sign in. I see a teacher there that I've worked with before. She's like, you look kind of familiar. I'm like, oh yeah, actually, I did a training with you maybe last year. She's like, yeah, but you look different. I was like, oh yeah, my beard has grown out, and the locks are locking now. She's like, no. And I quote,
and my eyes, y'all.
I quote, I can't make this up, y'all. She says, no. You look like you've been bench pressing Buicks. Sinclair, am I lying?
You're not lying. I'm standing behind and rolling my eyes like, really, lady? Buicks?
And keep in mind, y'all, I have been very intentional within the past, I don't know, probably like 6 months in fitness, in working out, in trying to get bigger.
I must commend you. You've been very persistent.
Thank you. This mic is getting in my way of giving you a proper handshake, but thank you very much, Sinclair. You know what really sparked it? Y'all getting all types of stories today. I'm sorry. If I get into a whirlwind, pull me out, Sinclair. What really sparked it is when we were at UCLA, and I was on a good grind, steady grind, doing like 100 push-ups a day. But then we had a conversation with Thees, right? And he was like, "Oh yeah, you're in pretty good shape. What do you do?" I was like, "Oh, every day I just try to do 100 push-ups, do some sit-ups, woo woo woo." He was like, "Okay, 100. That's cool." I I was like, well, how many you do? He was like, well, I mean, I don't do them right now, but you know, when I was in the pen, I was really getting money. We were doing like 1,000 a day. And Steve's big dude,
Yep.
deep voice, a lot of confidence too. You know what I'm saying? Steve's dope dude. I was like, dang, you doing 1,000? He was like, yeah, but it's different because when you're inside, you're like preparing your body
Right.
for war. It's your armor. But I'm over here thinking, I gotta get some more armor though. I know I'm not preparing for war, but you never know.
No.
So from there, I was like, okay, if he can do 1,000, he's human, he's a man. I can do 200.
Mm-hmm.
So then I started doing 200, and then I started doing 300, and then I started doing 400.
How many do you do now?
Now I don't even count. I just
go.
I just be going, and then I go to the gym and I do it more.
Well, I'm at a solid 12.
Come on, 12. From 0, 12 is crazy. I see you.
Well, I can't say I never was able to. I never was at 0. But like with the good form,
at one point you were at 0.
Sure, good form. I was probably at a good like 5 or 6.
Yeah,
a month ago.
Solid. Ona, how many can you do? We'll get back to that. But long story short, that was one of the big sparks to getting back in my fitness journey. Because I'm a pretty competitive person. So I'm like, I know you can do 1,000. Okay, let me build up to 1,000. So one of these days I need to actually count them out and try to do 1,000. Right. But yeah, that Riverside event really poured confidence into me. With that lady who again saw me a year ago and she was like, dang, you looking like you bench pressing Buicks. I'm gonna say that over and over again all week because
as soon as she said it, I was like, we will never not hear about
Come
this.
on. And you knew it was gonna be on the podcast.
I did.
100%.
100%.
So now I want to shift gears back to this idea of building confidence. All right. And after this little quick commercial break, we're going to have you read the definition of perception. And then we're going to get back into these 5 steps.
Okay.
Get back in these 5 steps. I know I already written out kind of mine, but I want to work through yours as well. And then if you have any questions, we can go nice back and forth question section. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. All right. So let's take a quick commercial break and we will be right back to dive deeper into perception and how you can build confidence today. See you in a second. Look, we're going to get right back into the amazing podcast. But if you didn't know, in 2017, we created Black Wall Street, the board game, because we thought more families needed to know about the history of Tulsa Black Wall Street. More families needed to know about the legacy of Black excellence left behind of Tulsa Black Wall Street, that we can own a Madam C.J. Walker Beauty Salon. We can have a Booker T. Washington High School. We can have an Uncle Steve's Barbecue. We can have a Renaissance man like Simon Berry, who had his own taxi service and bus service that got bought out by the city of Tulsa. We have brilliance in our DNA. We wanted to make sure that your family can play a game that teaches them about this brilliance. So we have Black Wall Street, the board game right here. We had the first edition available in 2017. That got sold out. We're on the second edition right now, or you can get the beautiful masterpiece version of the game as well. It's up to you. Head to playblackwallstreet.com and get yourself Black Wall Street, the board game, to empower you, your family, and generations to come. Playblackwallstreet.com. Let's get back to the episode. Getting right back into it. Queen, can you please read the definition of perception? And I'm pretty sure it's not the first one that I want. I'm pretty sure it's the second one, in case that saves us any time.
The state of being or a process of becoming aware of something through the senses.
Okay, give me the third one. I'm looking for a way of regarding.
Yeah, a way of regarding, understanding, or interpreting something, a mental impression.
One more time.
A way of regarding, understanding, or interpreting something.
So when I interpret that, it basically says to me, and let me know what your perception of perception is, but it's not necessarily a truth. Right? A truth is something that it is, right? The sky is up. Is that a truth?
No.
Dang, that's not a truth?
It's a truth to us from our perception.
Deep.
Because if you're, because of the way we look at the globe, but who's to say the way that we look at the globe is the correct way. Like for
Mhm.
people who are at the bottom, technically the sky is down.
Interesting perception, Sinclair. Interesting perception. But it says to me that you have control over the way that you see things and the way that you process things.
Mhm.
And it's not always in one box or one truth, if you
Mhm.
will, which I think gives folks a lot of freedom and a lot of power to define who they are. Who you are is based on your own perceptions and then the perceptions that you care to consume.
Mhm.
Right. And I say that because like our stories growing up, we had all these little kids who had their perception. And when you're a kid, you care about the perception of other kids.
Mhm.
Right. So that starts to mold who you think you are and how you view yourself. And then hopefully as you get older, you start to tune out some of those. And at this point, I think something that's helped me create more confidence is I have fewer people that I care about as far as what they care about me or what they see in me.
Mhm.
Right. You know, not oh, Devon don't care about nobody. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I hear a lot of voices. I only let certain voices in.
Right.
Right. So I know Sinclair is a trusted, beautiful, smiling voice. And, she says some good things about me from time to time. She says that I'm funny sometimes. She be calling me handsome and stuff. She be like, oh, I see you in your hard work and grinding in the gym, right? And I let all those in and it helps me build the perception of who I am,
Mhm.
right? Um, any take on that?
I think it's like you said, it's not necessarily the truth, it's your truth.
Hmm.
And I think that's different. The truth and your truth can be two completely different things.
Hmm.
And it's almost like it's like, say there's something in front of you. That's the truth, that there's something in front of you. But the perception is almost like the glasses you wear to see it.
Hmm.
Like, what is your perception? What is that thing in front of you? And I think depending on what lens you're wearing, right,
Facts.
is gonna definitely affect how you see that thing and what you're looking at.
Facts.
Um,
Prime example. And I think I have an answer in my head,
mm,
but you let me know what your answer is. What country do you feel the most beautiful in?
you know my answer.
I do. But what country?
My people over in Italy,
Yeah, why Italy? Tell the people if this is their first episode and they have no idea why you love Italy. Why do you feel so beautiful in Italy?
because they literally just call me beautiful all the time. They just like
It's a problem for me.
they like, no offense here in America, like to me, catcalling and calling someone beautiful are two very different things. So I
For
feel
sure.
like here I get catcalled, right? I get, oh, what's up, little mama? Oh, okay. Like that's not,
it's the nose.
yeah, that doesn't necessarily make me feel like, oh.
Mhm.
But in Italy, like I'm walking around and literally like, the person letting us off the bus, the person in the register, like they're just like, oh, bella, which is beautiful in Italian. They're like, oh, bella, bella, bella.
Mhm.
Right. And it's just like, oh, like, thank you.
Me?
Like,
Oh.
oh, thanks.
It's Sinclair actually, but
Call me Bella if you want. He'll be Bella today.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was just like it was in such a respectful way. They would tell him like, oh, you gotta like your wife, it
Yeah.
was beautiful, it was Bella, like, and that was on our honeymoon. Everybody was like, it was just a very nice vibe, and everybody was very friendly and kind and respectful. But yeah, just throwing that around
Mhm.
from random people who were just seeing me. It was just very, and it was also cool because I'm looking at the country, I'm looking at the place, the people are nice too. I'm just like, everything here that I'm seeing is beautiful. So it's
Yeah.
interesting to see someone like I guess that they see as a tourist, and like them saying that to me was just like, oh man, back at you, like.
Right. But again, that's the power of perception and what you choose to consume. And I think being in America as a Black person, we're not like beauty is not the direct correlation in America, unfortunately.
Right.
When you're Black in America, it's oh, you must be lazy, you must be disadvantaged,
Ghetto.
you must be ghetto, you must be poor, and for whatever reason it's not directly associated with genius, wealthy, beautiful, which is what the M4 show what we're trying to do for
Mhm.
sure. But the fact that you go across the ocean to a completely new country and same body, same mind, same skin, same beautiful smile, same eyes, and now everybody's calling you beautiful.
Mhm.
You're gonna start to feel yourself.
Right.
Right. So how can you think about that concept and bring that to your own home?
I have a question.
Talk to me.
Part of me is not sure if I want to know the answer, if I'm being honest with you. Do you know the
This is a great
history?
one.
Do you know the history behind why? Because it's not just, that's not a unique experience to me. A lot of Black women say that they have experiences like that in Italy. What is the history behind that, or what is the reasoning there?
Well, I don't know why Italian men think Black women are beautiful. I just think they tell the truth.
No objections there.
I think they must tell the truth. The only connection that I can think of is Italy did colonize Eritrea in Africa. So I assume there's probably been a lot of people going back and forth, Eritrean women going to Italy, Italian men going to Eritrea. So I'm sure there is some type of intermarriage and relationship between Italian men and Eritrean or Black women. But other than that, I
can
can't
accept
think.
that.
Huh?
I can accept that.
You
It
can
sounds
accept that answer?
consensual.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you. As I said before, I'm a genius. Let's see. Another question I have for you, Queen. Who, other than me, of course, are people that give you confidence? Like friends, family, maybe digital mentors. Who are people around you that give you confidence?
Like specific people, or just in general,
Yeah,
like friends?
specific people.
Well, because it's fresh on my mind because we were just hanging out with him. Megan.
Nice.
I was talking to her, and I was complimenting her edges, and I was like, "We out here. We went to the Hollywood Bowl, so it was outside. It wasn't hot necessarily, but I feel like when I wasn't hot, but I feel like because we were like, moving around, we had a little wine. My edges were like out, and I had done such a good job of laying them. So and hers were still nice and laid. So I was asking her like, girl, what do you do for your edges? Like mine are out here just looking like a fro at the edge of my head. And she was, she basically always, she's very good about like turning things into a compliment. She was like, oh, but your locks, like your locks are locking. And I was like, yeah, they're finally looking less like twists and more like locks. And they're long enough for me to, style them. Although I end up with the same style 90% of the time. And she was like, oh, but it's cute. Like it looks so good. And I was just like, oh, thank you. And just felt very genuine.
Your
and made me,
is right on point.
Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, it felt genuine. It made me feel good. Like, oh yeah, okay. I am like, and then I think it compounded because then after that I went into the bathroom, and I remember I gave you my jacket, I gave you my purse, so I literally was just walking in with just me. And so when I came out of the bathroom, I was washing my hands, and it's like there's a line of people, I'm washing my hands, so it's like naturally I just feel like everybody's looking at me because like what else are you gonna look at?
You obviously. There's only one answer.
But literally everybody's like facing towards me and everybody's looking at the mirror, and I'm there washing my hands. Like naturally your attention's going to turn towards me. So I felt like people were looking at me, but I was like, I don't know if they're looking at me in a positive way or not. But then when I was leaving, there was like two sisters there, and she was like, and they were like smiling, and they were like, you look so cute. And I was like, thank you. And like that just made me feel good too. I feel like it definitely made me feel better to hear it from Megan because I know her and she knows me. Right. But it also, I think, just compounded on with like hearing that. I'm just like, okay, you know what? I am feeling cute. And then remember I told you when we got home, you were already asleep. I was in the bathroom like feeling myself.
I am so
I was
beautiful.
Like, you are that one.
Come
like
on.
But it was like I chose the outfit. I did the makeup. So I'd already known that I looked cute, but hearing it definitely like just affirmed it of like, yeah, you know what? I am cute.
All right. Again, it goes to what do you say and what do other people say? So the fact that leaving the house, you thought, I'm looking good. I'm looking cute. I did that. And then you get somewhere and multiple people are also like, yes, you did that. I feel like you said, compounds and you're like, yeah, I did do that. Right. So me doing my workout and thinking I'm getting bigger. And then you being like, oh, Devon, you look good. You look getting bigger. And then going to the park and someone saying, oh, dang, you looking big. I'm like, yeah, I'm looking big, right? So just the real power of knowing what you love and being willing to accept the positive feedback from other people.
I think it's interesting too, because I think you're going to find confirmation for whatever you're telling yourself.
Facts.
So that's why it's really important to, like you said, choose the things that you want to love about yourself, that you want to to be, that you want your ideal self to embody. Because if you tell yourself you're ugly, there's gonna be one random troll or whatever that is gonna say something, and then you're gonna be like, dang, well, I guess I am ugly.
Interesting that I think the ideas that affirm your ideas seem louder, right? Like,
yeah.
So it's like if you think, oh man, I'm ugly, and then there's a whole bunch of people saying, oh, you look good, oh, you look beautiful, oh, you look good, and there's one person that's like, ew, you look ugly. That's gonna be the one comment that sticks in your mind and sticks in your consciousness, and you're gonna forget the 99 people that said you're beautiful.
Yep.
It's interesting.
Yep.
What I want to do, Sinclair, if you're open to it, is go through these 5 steps with you.
Okay.
And I want you to actively think about these traits. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Well, why you say it like that?
You mean like the 5 steps of like create my list and ask you those 5 steps?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have to like go through the whole like texting 10 people right now because this is supposed to only be a 45-minute to 60-minute podcast. So we don't got time to text 10 people right now.
My people be texting back slow. We ain't got time for that.
Right. We'll be waiting here 6 months before Joy texts back.
Yeah. And then 6 years for Kathleen.
Oh, goodness gracious. Your friends be slow texting. Oh my gosh. All right. And if you're actively watching, listening, feel free to also participate, write these down, unless of course you are driving. If you're driving, you just keep driving. You got it. Now, 3 to 4 traits you want your ideal best self to have, to embody. These are traits that you probably already have and you want to develop them. What would be those? Let's go with 4 because we're the M4 show. What would be those 4 traits, my love?
Confident is like one of the first ones. And that's something that like I know is in me, but I want to embody more. I feel like at this point I probably lean more towards the not confident than confident on a daily basis. So I want to change that. I feel like I try to be a realist. I don't know if anybody's 100% confident all the time, but I definitely want to lean towards being the main person that I'm listening to, telling myself, and everybody else is just confirmation. So confident.
Okay.
You said 4 things?
4 things.
Like smart or intelligent. Caring. That's 3.
Good job. Smart coming out. I see you.
Ooh, almost forgot we were on a podcast. You almost got the real.
Don't think too hard.
Funny.
Boom, funny. So we got funny, confident, caring, smart. Write those down, Queen. Funny, confident, caring, and smart. All right. And then, some point this week, I want you to text your people, and hopefully they'll give you a response this year and ask them, no prompts, right? No persuading. Just ask them, hey, what are 3 words you would use to describe me? All right. Now, after you do that, you'll match up the list. You'll see which 4 match with hopefully the people that you texted or DM'd. And then you'll write down your affirmations. Now, earlier, Queen, I asked you if you knew what standards were. What was your answer?
I don't think so. I just feel like that sounds familiar.
Jaid, do you know what standards are?
Like,
if you're watching, you know what standards are. Go ahead and put in the comments what
you have to put in reference of school.
Yeah, in school.
Okay, because like standards, I feel like to the average adult is like, what are your standards for someone you're looking into? Or,
Okay.
So reference point is school. Do you know standards? And even then, to me, I think of like standards that like a teacher has to cover, or like standardized testing.
That's because you never got in trouble, Sinclair. Everyone who got in trouble knows what standards are. And it is the scene in Harry Potter where old girl is telling Harry, I will not tell lies. I must not tell lies. Those are standards. So when you got in trouble in school, unless you were in Catholic school. If you're in Catholic school, sometimes, you got that ruler. Sorry. But if you were in a public school, they would have you sit down, detention, and write, I will not talk in class, or I will turn in my homework in time. 100 times, 150 times, 200 times, over and over again until it was ingrained in your mind. Now, obviously, growing up, I hated standards, but now that I'm adult and I can control what I write, you can take that same punishment, but use it to empower yourself. So when you're writing down affirmations, essentially those are kind of like standards, right? So I want you to write these down, Sinclair. Not right now, but in the next coming week or two, when you get
Write physically with pen and paper.
Write physically with pen and paper, or pencil if that's your vibe, and paper, all right? Or on a whiteboard if you have a big old whiteboard. But you do want to physically write it onto a surface. Write down your affirmations 10 times each affirmation, right? Or you can complete the series and then do the entire series 10 times. All right. Again, you're just trying to get into the repetition of telling this to yourself so that you start to truly believe and remember the truths about yourself. All right. And then lastly, you're going to create your list of habits. So you said that you're funny. So again, at least once a day, you should be making somebody laugh. And you're doing this intentionally, right? You're waking up with the goal of, all right, today I will make somebody laugh. That kind of makes the day fun. I don't know who's it gonna be. If you're saying you're smart, so one time per day you should be doing something that is feeding your brain or teaching someone else's brain. What was that? You said confidence. How would you practice confidence, or what habit shows confidence? Affirmations. Oh, yeah.
Or just like, a good one. To me, confidence is doing what you say you're going to do. So that could be just each day choosing, like, I'm going to do this today, whether it's brush my teeth, on a real rough day. That's probably one I would choose just to make sure. Yeah. But it could be like, I'm gonna work out today, or I'm going to cook dinner, anything like that.
Nice. And then what was your fourth one? Caring.
Yeah.
Right. So how would you practice being or showing that you care each day?
Doing something for somebody else.
Nice.
Something meaningful to somebody else.
So let's say every single day you brush your teeth. It's a good win. Let's say every single day you read a little bit on a book, or you learn something new. Let's say every single day you make somebody laugh, and every single day you show somebody that you care. What does that feel and look like for you?
Like, I feel pretty good about myself.
It's a great day. It's a great week. That's a great month, year, life. And I feel like those things start to compound. So again, if you're watching, take those notes, do those things, and check back in with us. Let us know how it goes for you. Queen, anything you want to add to that?
No, I'm interested to see what. Again, I feel like I'll be so interested to see like whose lists, which ones match up with people. I feel like I have an idea, but then I'm also like, I don't know who's really gonna say. Like, I feel like the average person has laughed at something I've said. Yes. Would they outwardly say I'm funny? I don't know. We'll see.
You're not seeming too confident in your funniness here, Sinclair.
It doesn't matter because I know I'm funny.
I know you're funny as well, Sinclair.
Thank you.
So we got one person.
Thanks.
I think confidence is not something that you outwardly show to a lot of your friends. So I think that's going to be the word that might not come back. I think people are going to say beautiful, but I don't think people are going to say confident, because that's not something that you've outwardly embodied all the time. Except at the Beyonce concert. You was rocking at the Beyonce concert. You was doing your thing.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? Doing your thing.
Facts.
But appreciate y'all. Hopefully you got some value out of today's podcast. If you did, like, subscribe, and again, drop the comments on your stories as a kid building confidence. Very interested in, what people perceived you as a kid, how you perceived yourself as a kid, and then how maybe some of that's still showing up today, right? Like, there's times where I still don't think I'm handsome. There's times where I still don't think that I'm absolutely brilliant and a genius, because that's the trauma and the voices from childhood coming into play, not the realities of today. You know what I'm talking about. Queen, anything you want to add before we go into updates?
Nope.
Cool. Updates for the week. Hit them with it, Queen.
We have our 10-week financial literacy program that we run with middle schools, high schools, and now elementary schools that BIBIS that basically takes students from identifying a problem that they see in their community and then teaching them how to create a business that solves that problem. So that sounds like something that you want to see at a school near you. Hit us up at info@playblackwallstreet.com and let's talk about how we can support your scholars.
Let's do it. Some more updates. One, if you are in the Black Wall Street, the board game Facebook group, that's what it's called. Unfortunately, we are no longer broadcasting this live into the Black Wall Street group. We really trying to build, I don't want to say separate communities, but intentional communities. And Black Wall Street, the board game, really want to focus on education, some financial literacy stuff, some Black history stuff. But the marriage concept, the marriage conversations, we've been putting in there because we know there's families, but really it's not in direct alignment. So we're going to just keep them separate. That way we can go entirely into our M4 bag here and feel confident and comfortable in what we're talking about. So again, if you are in that group, boom, like and subscribe here. You'll get all the updates. And we will be doing some more intentional content inside of that Facebook group soon, whether it's Black history snacks or Black study snacks, whether it's some book club stuff. I'll drop a Facebook poll in there probably on Monday and y'all can vote. But more content will be coming there. Lastly, we are getting more intentional with M4 and looking forward to doing some more challenges. Last year we did the $1 Million Marriage Challenge, which was very fun, 100% virtual. Queen, how you feeling about bringing that back?
Yeah, we can do that.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
Virtual or in person?
Virtual
again. All right. So if you're interested in the $1 Million Marriage Challenge, go ahead and drop a comment. MDMC. Go ahead and drop that in there. MD $1 Million MC Marriage Challenge. And we'll do it later on this year or maybe early in 2024. All right. Queen, anything you're reading? Good.
Yep.
All right. Well, as usual, we appreciate y'all for tapping into the M4 show, Melanated Married Millionaires in the making. I'm your host, Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game.
And I'm Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd.
Make sure y'all secure the marriage. Make sure y'all secure the love. And of course, make sure y'all secure
the bag.
Peace. Thank you for supporting the M4 show and our mission to increase the wealth of Black families.
If you received any value from this episode, any value at all, any, do us a favor and give us a like and subscribe on YouTube and Apple, Spotify, anything, all of them, all of them, wherever you're listening, go ahead and like and subscribe.
And after you like and subscribe, make sure you send this episode to at least one family that you really want to see win. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.